So from around the Iana functions from PTI. We've got 45 minutes in this session. It's a split session. After this, we'll be talking about the DNSSEC KSK rollover. We'll get moving so we don't run too late. So first up, we have Tomohiro Fujisaki, who will provide the ASO AC report. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for introducing me. I'm Tomohiro Fujisaki. I'm ASOAC member from APNIC region. Here I report the recent ASOAC activities. Okay, let me start. This first slide shows what is ASOAC. And we, ASOAC, is a total equal organization with the number, NRO number council. And our job is to advise ICANN board about the number resource policy issue. And we have 15 members, 3 from each region, and 2 members in this 3 were elected from the community, and 1 member is appointed by the RR board. And our term is 2 years for the elected members in the APNIC region, and 1 year for the appointed members. And our job is to advise IP address policy issues to the ICANN board and select ICANN board members. As many of you know, we have 15 members of ICANN board, and the seat number 9 and 10 are elected by us. And also, we have a mission to select ICANN non-com member. And we conduct our job mainly on the monthly teleconference, and we have 1 face-to-face meeting in a year. And this is our member of this year. The star mark after the name indicates that he or she is the appointed member of the RL board, and the italic name is the new member from this year. Okay, and this year we have the Phyllis from Live region as a chair of the ASOAC, and Louis from Erin, and Ricardo Patara from the LACNIC is the vice chair of the ASOAC. Okay, in next few slides, I'll explain our recent activities. And as I explained, we have the monthly teleconference, and that is every first Wednesday of the month. And if we have the urgent issues, we have emergency meeting to discuss such topics. And after the APNIC44 held in the Ho Chi Minh City, and we have 5 teleconferences, and in these teleconferences, we discussed about the ASOAC review issues. Actually, this afternoon, we have the ASOAC review session. So if you have interest in the ASOAC review, please join that session. And also, we're discussing the empowered community issues, and we have the election this year, so we prepare to the ICANN board selection for seat number 9. And also, we discussed the ICANN 59 participation, and so on. And this slide shows the global policy management. Actually, global policy management is one of our main jobs, and the global policy is define the policy to define the interaction between Iana and the RARs. And this is defined on the ASM view, like this. And this slide shows how the global policies are developed. And actually, as many of you know, each region, each RIRs have its own policy development process, and all open, transparent, and bottom-up. And to make a global policy, the policy proposal have to submit it to all RIRs policy forum and reach the consensus in all IRRs. And then if the global policy proposal reached the consensus in all area regions, and it's passed to the NROEC for the review, and finally sent to ICANN to ratify that policy. This is a global policy development process. And currently, we have no global policy on the table, but we have been observing each RIR's policy forum if new global policy is proposed. And for that purpose, we established a policy proposal facilitator team, PPFT, beginning of this year. And from the APNIC region, I am a member of this PPFT. Okay, next topic is the ICANN board selection. As I said, this is another main job of us. And we have two ICANN board from the ASO selection, and seat number 10. Currently, the seat number 10 is occupied by the Ron De Silva from the Eden region, and his term will end the next year. So we have to select the next ICANN board on the seat 10. And this is the planned schedule. And the nomination will be open the next month. So if you have interest to nominate someone or nominate yourself, please visit this webpage. Yeah, actually, early next month, we will announce the nomination open. But unfortunately, this time, seat number 9 was occupied by the Maemura-san, which is the APNIC region member. So we, APNIC, cannot nominate the ICANN board, but the ICANN board selection is very, very important topic. So if your input, such as a comment to each nominee, is very, very important. So please visit this webpage. Okay, next topic is ICANN participation. Yeah, actually, ASO is one of the ICANN supporting organization, and we join every ICANN meeting and conduct some meeting and so on. And during the last period, we joined the ICANN 59 held in the Johannesburg. And this ICANN meeting is Format B, and this is for policy forum. And the Format B meeting is focused on the policy work. Not so many participants, but they are dedicated to the policy discussions and so on. And at that ICANN meeting, we have some sessions, such as ICANN ASO review session and the meeting with other ICANN groups, and so on. Yep. And this is almost the last slide. And we appointed the Brajesh. He sits here, there, over there, and he was appointed to the ICANN non-com from the ASOS member. Great thing. Okay. And other activities include the old meeting minutes on this web page. So if you have interest in the more detail you have interested in the ASO activities, more detail, please visit our web page. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. Any questions or comments? Yeah.
Brajesh Jain here. Thank you, Tomohiro-san, for the presentation on ASO. I would just like to add that there are certain decisional participants, there are certain instances where ASO has to respond in a time of 7 days or 21 days. And for that subgroup has been created to draft out the new procedures to be able to respond. Just wanted to add this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tomohiro. Just a reminder as well that there is the election for one of the seats on the NRONC ASOAC. On-site voting opens for that tomorrow. So just be aware. Next up, we have Joyce joining us to provide the update from the ICANN Regional Hub in APAC.
Hi, good morning everyone. How are we doing? I'm not sure if you can see me over this quite tall podium. I'm Joyce. I'm from the ICANN and APEC regional office based in Singapore. I have a very long designation, but basically my work is to deepen engagement, especially in Southeast Asia. So the Southeast Asian countries are really the countries that I'm taking care of. So this is just to give you an overview of ICANN APEC regional office activities. Oh, sorry, pressing the wrong button. There we go. So the mission for ICANN is to ensure the stable and secure operations of the Internet's unique identifier systems, mainly looking at domain names and IP addresses. And we work with our partners very closely to do that. So, for example, we work with APNIC very closely as the RIR. We work with Internet Society. You will hear from them later. And we also work with IETF, amongst others. So we work with a lot of different partners all around the world to help make sure that the Internet continues to work in a smooth and interoperable way. So just to introduce a little bit about our community comprises mainly volunteers. We are also not-for-profit, so nobody goes there to make money for any reason, unless it's part of their day job. And as you heard earlier from Tomohiro-san, ASO is one of the supporting organizations that helps to produce policies in ICANN, and we also have advisory committees in ICANN that provide advice to the ICANN board. So recently in June, due to our globalization efforts, ICANN announced officially our international office strategy. So we have several regional offices around the world. The APEC one is based in Singapore, as I mentioned earlier. We have our headquarters in LA, in Los Angeles, USA. And then in Asia Pacific itself, we have one engagement center in China, in Beijing, and one partnership center together with KISA in Seoul. So this is just a map of where everybody is. We also have some staff members who are based outside of these centers in Australia, India, and Japan. Last month, we celebrated our 4th anniversary. So the APAC regional office began in 2013, and we came up with a special report. It's the first time that we've come up with something like this that basically highlighted some participation numbers in ICANN from the Asia Pacific region. We looked at some data in terms of what are the contributions to the security, stability, and resiliency of the internet, for example. And we also announced the second version of the label generation rules in the root zone, where we included Khmer, Lao, and Thai language scripts into the root zone. So if you, I have a link there, and I think the presentation will be provided, so you can have a look at this special report. So the APAC regional office, really our main duties are to facilitate conversations amongst our community in APAC. So we also look at capacity development. We do a lot of training and workshops around the region as well. And I want to introduce you to the ICANN APEC space. This is a place where the APEC community get together. It could be face-to-face, it could be on web conferences, and they talk about issues that are related to ICANN. So we've gone through some policy development processes, what we call PDPs in the ICANN vernacular, and we are going to go through the CCT review in the next web conference, and also we will meet during the ICANN 60 meeting that's coming up. And as I've mentioned, the next web conference is actually coming up soon in a couple of, next week actually, on the 19th, and I'm helping to run that. So that's where we're going to be discussing the CCT review, which is the Competition, Consumer Trust, and Consumer Choice Review. If you're interested in the domain name market or in the domain name industry and what's going on in terms of competition and all these, you might want to join us for this web conference to learn a bit more about what's happening in this review. And then, of course, we're also meeting at the ICANN 60 meeting in Abu Dhabi. We do a lot of work, technical engagement work, and we run a lot of workshops for capacity development on DNS management, DNS security, and most notably this year, our focus has been on outreach for the key signing key rollover. I will leave that for my colleague later to talk a little bit more about what KSK rollover is in the next session that's starting at 11:45. And of course, we also do Alroot server deployment and DNSSEC deployment. So this is just a bit of information on the KSK rollover, and I won't go through in detail, but just to note that 11 October is the date to note. And these are the people that we envision will be impacted by this. The upcoming meeting, which I've already referenced several times, is going to take place in Abu Dhabi from the 28th of October to the 3rd of November. I welcome you to join us. It's a public meeting, and it's also our annual general meeting, which means that some of the new ICANN board members are going to be stepping up. So if you're interested in knowing who is going to be nominated, then do follow some updates prior to the ICANN 60 meeting. And then after that, in ICANN 61 is a community forum. It's the first forum for next year, and it will take place in Puerto Rico. These are some of the programs that are available for you to join us if you have, for example, problems with travel support, etc. We have two programs, the fellowship program and the next gen or the next generation program that are available that provide travel funding for our ICANN meetings. ICANN fellowship is really for anyone who is interested to learn about ICANN and want to be involved in our processes. And the next gen program is for anyone below the age of 30, so really it's targeting youth, students, universities, and this sort of thing. We have a newcomer program that is not funded, but it is a structured way for you to get to know more about ICANN, where we provide like ICANN Learn courses and some things that you need to learn as DNS basics. Some of the ways that you can get involved with us as well, I will not go through this in detail. Thank you very much, and if I have any questions, I can take them. Yes, the one question.
Hello and good morning. We contacted the first Afghanistan School on Internet Governance. I'm Khalil Azizi from Afghanistan, and I'm representing National IT Professionals Association of Afghanistan. We contacted Afghanistan School on Internet Governance for the first time in Afghanistan.
Congratulations.
And we tried to reach you out. Yes, there was some help, but as we were expecting from ICANN, we couldn't get that help from you. So what kind of support do you offer to these kinds of programs in the countries? You cannot travel, and the excuse is pretty well that the security reasons, though that's not that much there. So while you're not traveling, in funding, how do you support us? And secondly, how do you get connected with us so that we get the best of ICANN through the internet services there? So I just wanted to know this. Thank you.
So I'm not very familiar with the particular details for what happened for the Afghanistan School of Internet Governance in this particular case. But so for one thing, we do have some budget cycles that take place half a year cycle. So it could be that it missed the window for budgeting. That could be one reason, but I'm not sure if that was the case.
That was in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another thing that we do help in, especially for SIX, would be to provide people to go and to speak and to provide training. So that's another way that we also support, not just financially, which we do, but not for every SIG that's out there. And then we also provide people expertise and training expertise. So that could be another way for us to help.
Why do I expect this? Because see, when you compare Afghanistan with India or Nepal with Afghanistan or Bhutan with India, so the situation completely differs. So definitely a country like Afghanistan needs more attention because we are in a very well growth mood at the moment and we are growing very well. So if you support it, not only I can, I'm requesting this to the ISOC and other fellows as well. If you support the countries like Afghanistan with their very nice initiatives that we take our own, without the support of anyone of the national and international community. So I think that will yield very nice results.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Joyce. Now we'll have the Iana functions update. Sadly, last time from Elise, as you probably heard in the opening ceremony, but we're very glad to have you here today.
They have to teach me how to use the clickers. Anyway, thanks again for asking for the Iana functions update. From me, I'm Elise Garrick. And yes, this is my last APNIC meeting in this role. I do want to introduce my colleague, who's back there taking a photograph right now, Sabrina Tanamal. And Sabrina is part of the Iana department, and this is her first APNIC meeting. So please welcome her if you get a chance to say hello. Okay, so we have just 4 quick topics, some of which you're well familiar with. You kind of heard some of it in the APNIC services, and you heard a little bit about the root zone KSK key rollover, and you'll hear more about that from someone else later, Ed Lewis, who's sitting up front. But then we have the things that are just the Iana functions. So the IPv4 recovered allocation. This is something we're really excited about in the sense that we automated it. So you don't have to ask us twice annually per the policy that is the global policy. On September 1st and March 1st, the allocations happen. And so on September 1st, not long ago, the equivalent of a /20 was given to each of the RIRs. And you can see the /20 that the APNIC got. And that's only 4,096 addresses. So it's, you know, like a drop in the bucket. But as you heard earlier today, that drop in the bucket will be distributed per your waiting list. We've had this long timeline where we keep trying to run out of the IPv4 recovered pool that the Iana functions holds. We haven't run out yet. No one's topped it off so that we can hand it out in one fell swoop. But if we continue to have just the same number of IP addresses in the IPv4 recovered pool that we have today, we'll run out in March 2019, which means that APNIC will get a /23. So that's even a smaller amount of numbers than you got this time. So I won't say much about the KSK key rollover. We're all advertising this highly, and so you're hearing lots and lots about it. So there. Again, we're doing this for the first time. No one's rolled the root zone key before. Many TLD operators, and I think many of you, or some of you in this room are top-level domain managers, have rolled your own DNSSEC key, so you have some experience. But this is the first time that the root of the DNS will get its key rolled. And as Joyce said earlier, it's going to happen, really happen on October 11th. There's been a very long design team plan that's been put in place, and Ed will talk more about that. But the documentation's here. If you get bored of hearing us all talk about it and don't catch it one of these times around, you can always look at the documentation. But October 11th is the big day. So, reporting. As many of you may realize, we're just about to the first anniversary for PTI. PTI is Public Technical Identifiers, and that's the outcome of the Iana stewardship transition. Izumi was one of the primary movers and shakers for making this happen. And so our anniversary is October 1st, and part of that was to define how we would report to the APNIC community and the other RIRs. So we created a report, which we share every month online at the link that's at the bottom of this page. This is the report for July because the reports come out on the 15th of every month. And we're not to the 15th of September yet, so you don't have an August report yet. So as soon as Friday hits, we'll be publishing the report for August. But this is the report for July, and as you can see, we allocated a couple of AS number blocks there. Customer satisfaction survey. So this is something that's very important to us personally at the Iana services at PTI, to understand what we can do better, or if there are other things that you would like to see us do. Now, I know we saw the APNIC services, and I was quite impressed with all the initiatives that are going on here. But we don't have as many initiatives going on for the RIRs, the Regional Internet Registries. We're following a contract that was written with the RIR CEOs and ICANN, and then ICANN subcontracted it to PTI, Public Technical Identifiers. And so we deliver on those services. So any changes in the services come through recommendations in our customer satisfaction survey, as well as then coming back to the RIRs and seeing if they want to incorporate that into the services we provide. So the annual service will be going out to the CEOs and the registration services managers. And here's the timeline. It should be going out shortly, at which point it will run until the end of October. We use a third-party survey company that sends the survey, so the feedback is anonymous. They data analyze. Isn't that what we were supposed to talk about when we're here in Taiwan, data analytics? They analyze the data and provide us the feedback, and then we share that with the community and publish a report. And that's that for the Iana functions. Does anyone have any questions? If not, thank you very much, and I just want to let you all know that I've certainly appreciated representing the Iana functions at the APNIC meetings, and I know that my colleagues who will follow me will also enjoy participating in your meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Elise. And last, but certainly not least, is Aftab Siddiqui, who will provide the update from the ISOC regional activities.
Hello, everyone. Beside all the hats I wear all the time, I'm not wearing any. This is my employer. Let me give an introduction to my employer. This is Internet Society. So I work for Internet Society, and I'm based in Asia Pacific region. So let's give an introduction. I think everybody is aware of what Internet Society is doing, but just a snapshot of what we do, who we are. We are independent, neutral, and very inclusive global organization. And one of the regions we work in is Asia Pacific. What do we do? Provides leadership, advocates open internet standards. If you are aware of IETF, which is our flagship event, making sure that things are working in the right direction in internet. Promotes internet technologies that matters under that umbrella. Recognizes industry leaders. Our program is, we have different programs to recognize the leadership, and we have started a new program to recognize the young guns of our community as well. Undertakes the outreach, well, that's why I'm here and I attend all the NOGs in the region and support them as well. I'll give an introduction to that as well. So this is our global footprint in terms of chapters. If your country or region is not there in terms of a white dot, please contact us and we will be able to help you out establishing a chapter in your city or country. Our objectives for the 2017 still are trust, connect the unconnected, strengthen the ISOC, and strengthen the IETF. And we do all our various projects under these 4 categories. In the Asia Pacific region, our global memberships is like around 31,000, which is the almost 31% of the total membership of ISOC. And we are growing quite rapidly in the Asia Pacific region. This is the biggest region. We have India and China, the top 2 countries in terms of population and growth. We have 21 chapters in the region. Chapter members are around 17,000, and we have organizational members in our region. They are 20. In terms of the team members, we are geographically well scattered strategically. So we have people we have a person in India, Pakistan, Singapore, Philippines, and myself, and Raj, who is the regional bureau director, is in Sydney. We have 2 board of trustee members from the Asia Pacific region, Hiroshi Isaki from Japan and Harish Pillai from Singapore. So what we have done so far in 2017, well, a lot of things. Just a quick overview what we have been doing in the region. Our focus for the 2017 was South Asia and Southeast Asia. That's why we did most of the stuff in that region. We were involved in a lot of events all around the region, but we have mentioned only those events where we were focally involved in. We have a very extensive NOG and IX support program. So if you are currently running a NOG, Network Operators Group, or if you are currently running an IX, neutral IX, talk to us if we are not already supporting you. If you are planning to start a NOG, if you are planning to start an IX, please do talk to us. And I would like to highlight one more thing, that in the Asia Pacific region specifically, we work quite closely with ICANN, as Joyce mentioned as well. We work very closely with APNIC. So if you are talking to any of us, it seems like you are talking to all of us. So if you want to talk to ICANN, we will get the news and we will help. We are here to help, all 3 of us. We are in it together. So it's not different. It's up to you. If you feel comfortable talking to any one of us, that's good. So this is what we have supported so far in 2017, and by the end of this year, we'll be supporting more, so we'll see more here. I would like to highlight one good news is that now we have an active and running IX in PNG, and we have a representative from NICTA, which is Andy. So you can talk to her, and she can share the good news by herself as well. Finally, after working tirelessly for many, many years, we have an open and neutral IX in Pakistan. And thanks to APNIC and good work from Sunny in Pakistan, it's live and running. It was a joint effort. And we already have 1 node in Islamabad, 2nd node in Karachi will be up this month, and the 3rd node in Lahore will be up by the end of this year. This year is going to be the Silver Jubilee year for ISOC, the 25th anniversary, and we're going to celebrate it with a bang. So multiple events happening this year. It's number 1 is Intercommunity, Internet Hall of Fame, and the 25 Under 25 program. So 25 Under 25 program, we have, as I highlighted before, that we are recognizing the young guns of around the world. And we have already announced the name, so do look at them. They are going to be the leaders in the future. So keep an eye on them. Internet Hall of Fame, everybody know this is an Internet IS Society initiative. We recognize all the Internet leaders in our society. Internet community, it's not going out. Okay. So Internet Community event, it's going to be on 19th of September, this month. And we have 4 hubs in Asia Pacific region: Tokyo, Japan; Brisbane, Australia; Singapore; New Delhi; and India. So if you are in any of this, in any of the region, any of the city, please attend these events. If you can't come in physically, then all these events will be available online. You can join in, be part of the discussion, be part of the celebration. ITF 100 Singapore, it's going to be a milestone event, 100th ITF, and it will be happening in Asia Pacific, Singapore. That is our regional hub as well, a regional hub for ICANN, and quite easy to get in. So come and join us. This is it. This is what we do. If you have any questions, if you need any help, please talk to me, send an email, tweet, whatever you like. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions? All good. That was quick, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Aftab, and thank you to all our speakers at Regional Reports. That concludes that session. If you'd like to look at any of the slides that were presented today, they're available on the APNIC44 website. You can download and view, and if you need to ask any questions, please get in touch with our speakers, who I'm sure will be able to help. This is a split session, as I mentioned before. We are now going to pivot to a technical topic, which is the DNSSEC KSK rollover. You should have heard about it by now. In fact, it was mentioned several times during that session. We have a couple of experts here today who will be able to give you all you need to know. If you're doing DNSSEC in your network, you really do need to listen. The people who will have presentations from today will be Ed Lewis from ICANN, and our esteemed Chief Scientist who's just walked in the room, Jeff Houston from APNIC. So Ed's going to kick things off. We've got 45 minutes for this as well, so we'll try to keep the time and make sure you have plenty of time to ask questions at the end. So Ed, over to you.